Alright, welcome to another lesson. It's gotta be like 22. Lesson 22. It's in little clips, short 10-minute clips. But that's what's up. So get with it. Okay, so we got, when we left off, he couldn't conquer Kauai, who was following the creator. So he struck an alliance treaty. Okay? Now he's in rulership, and they don't like the Kapu system because it's stopping them from harvesting all the sandalwood, because the Kapu system prevents the destruction of the sandalwood economy by putting laws so it would thrive. And they didn't like that because they wanted all the money, they wanted all the resources. So they had to get him out. He had to get out. The Kapu system had to get out, or he had to get out. And he wasn't biting. He kept the Kapu system, he kept the spiritual side, where we weren't as, like today, where we don't have that spiritual aspect our grandparents had and our ancestors had, where we would be more in tune with nature and more in tune with the creator and our surroundings and righteousness. Now we don't have that spirituality anymore, and now we just do all kind of crazy ass shit, wild off like you wouldn't even believe. And that's what we do, and we don't even understand. We think we're righteous because we got okay jobs or this or that. It's not about money. It's about what you do, what you teach, what you put forth, your actions.
Prohibition on men and women eating together.
So at this time, men and women couldn't eat together, and through learning health, I learned that there's gender foods, meaning like if you ate sunflowers as a man, you might act more feminine because of the estrogen imbalance in your system, because of eating the estrogen rich food. So there were diets that women could eat certain stuff and men could eat certain stuff, and you had to eat separate. And the queen didn't. All the many other chiefess could have relationships with other people, and at this time the king said she couldn't. So she was like one of the only ones who couldn't step outside of the home, and I don't think she liked that very much.
For breaking the Aikapu was severe.
If a man and woman were discovered eating together, they died. Both of them. They died. It was really simple.
The Kapu system was the bedrock of native Hawaiian life until 1819, the year that King Kamehameha, now in his early 60s, suddenly got very sick. While traditional healers tried to save his life, the king was comforted by Kahumanu. 19, the year that King Kamehameha, now in his early 60s, suddenly got very sick. 19, the year that King Kamehameha, now in his early 60s, suddenly got very sick. 19, the year that King Kamehameha, now in his early 60s, suddenly got very sick. While traditional healers tried to save his life, the king was comforted by Kahumanu, the favorite of his more than 20 wives. Not only was Kapu such an influential position,
he would lose the islands.
Kamehameha had decreed a cut. 19, the year that King Kamehameha, now in his early 60s, suddenly got very sick.
So what happened was, the Freemasons have been making trips to Hawaii, and they were directly connected to the corporations coming here for sandalwood and all the different resources here. They weren't getting what they wanted. They weren't getting their way. They devised a plan. What is so different? They've done this plan to us many times. They devised a plan. They could see that the queen was not appreciating that she had a copper on her body. and that she was being underutilized because she is a politician in her own right. So I'm a woman, hear me roar. You're not using me. Use me. I can do more. Okay? So what happened was Freemasons made a deal with her. I will give you backing, the funding, any weaponry you need. I will give you I will give you whatever you need to rule the kingdom. But you have to kill the king, for he is making it hard for us to do business in Hawaii. And then after you do that, you have to do something else for us. Not knowing that we had come from a Hebrew origin, and this request would be to suffocate and conceal that. So what they said was, additional to killing the king, you have to destroy the hundreds of temples and pyramids from one end of Hawaii to the other. Destroy them all. So she made this agreement.
Traditional healers tried to save his life. The king was comforted.
So whilst the healers of Hawaii, who had many medicine that were really good, could not heal him, while she was at his side continuously poisoning him so he would not get better.
By Kamehameha, the favorite of his more than 20 wives. Not only was Kamehameha beautiful, she was also a daughter, a sister, and cousin of Hawaii's greatest warriors and a skillful politician in her own right. Kamehameha had decreed a kapu on Kamehameha's body, meaning no one but the king could touch her.
Now this is what she really looked like. And what happened was they whitewashed her to look like that Mongolo you just seen.
Many songs and chants have been written about this in a very romantic way, that he put a kapu on her body because of his great love for her. Actually put a kapu on her body because he didn't want any other chief to get any ideas to take this great power away from him. If he lost these great generals, he would lose the islands.
On his deathbed, Kamehameha followed the British monarchy's lead and named his eldest son Liholiho.
So what he meant by power, I believe, is that it was a matrimonial system, just like the Cherokee, the Native Americans. So the woman gave you your ranking. So it didn't matter who your father is, really mattered who your mother was. Your father mattered, but your mother more so. So just like here, for instance, at ceremonies, King Kamehameha had to lay on his stomach and let his sons, Kamehameha II and III, sit on his back to eat, because their mother was of higher rank than Kamehameha's mother. So they were higher nobility than him. That's how it was, man. It was the mother that played the role. That's why the writer of this book, he has a European name, maybe because his grandfather is European or some type of foreign person, but his mother's line go back to the priest line of the ancient god, the creator. So that's how he was able to become a priest, because it was based on your mother. But as you can tell, he retained the afro and the phenotypes of the Hebrew.
As his heir apparent. Though she wasn't Liholiho's mother, he named Kamehameha as the new king's chief counselor. The first.
So Kamehameha II was a little spoiled boy who wasn't taught the art of being a prince and being a chief and being a future leader. So she was she was made the advisor so that she could teach him everything. She took that and killed him and became the ruler, pretty much.
Woman in Hawaiian history to hold such an influential position. This was Kamehameha's final act. King Kamehameha died at his home in Kailua on May 8th, 1819. It may have been typhus, cholera, or any number of diseases that were sweeping the islands. But there were also rumors that he had been poisoned by Kaahumanu. Under this cloud of suspicion, the great king was prepared for his funeral rites. It is said, or any number of diseases, he named Kaahumanu as the new king's chief counselor, the first woman in Hawaiian history to hold such an...
So you know she was telling him, you know what, Kamehameha, your son is not that efficient yet. Allow me to advise him. Make me the advisor. Oh, there's never been a woman advisor of your son, of that rank ever before. Don't worry, I am smart. I can teach him everything to keep our kingdom intact.
Influential position. This was Kamehameha's final act. King Kamehameha died at his home in Kailua on May 8th, 1819. It may have been typhus, cholera, or any number of diseases that were sweeping...
Typhus, cholera, any number of diseases. He was poisoned.
...the islands. But there were also rumors that he had been...